Good afternoon. Welcome to Thursday TCTSY practice. I made this recording specifically for the Thursday, April the 10th, right before the in-service practice, because I'm presenting tonight, Thursday, April 10th at in-service. So if you're here and then you go directly to there, please leave me an orange heart in the chat. So let's go ahead and get started with Thursday afternoon TCTSY practice. This week's theme is an intro to TCTSY. Sort of a beginning how to feel your body. So this practice will be on the floor, but you're welcome to sit or stand or lay down, change your shape at any moment. How you move is always your choice. So when you feel ready, you're welcome to begin, maybe by noticing how it feels to arrive here in this moment in your body. One way to notice might be to begin shifting your body weight left to right, or potentially circling. You might start to feel sensation showing up, maybe. Sensation might show up possibly in the middle body or maybe underneath you as you move. Another possible way to notice could be to do a body scan, possibly noticing the muscles in your forehead, around your eyes, how you're holding your jaw. You might notice your neck, how your shoulders feel, your back body. And if you want, you're also welcome possibly to notice your own breath. As you let your attention follow your inhale and exhale, you might notice the feel of air underneath your nose, or possibly some expanding and contracting somewhere in your middle body. Or maybe you feel nothing. And there's no better or worse result. Your experience, whatever that is valuable. I would invite you to potentially be curious about what you feel. Maybe check in again with the same thing later and see if sensation or lack of sensation has changed. So I invite you to be curious. If you'd like, you're welcome to continue body scanning or following your breath, possibly for 3 counts. So maybe for 3. And possibly 2 more. And maybe 1 more if you want. When you're seated, you're welcome to cross your legs. You could stretch your legs out. And maybe again begin shifting left to right if you want, leaning onto the floor, or you could potentially stretch one arm up and over your head as you lean. You're invited to possibly begin slowly, noticing maybe the moment when sensation starts, when you start to feel something. So possibly a 5 count or 5 breaths to notice what you feel, maybe on your side body or some other place, possibly for 5 counts or breaths. Maybe 4. Possibly continuing for 3 more. Maybe 2. And possibly continuing for 1 more if you want. Another option for movement might be some kind of a fold. One way to fold could be with your legs stretched out in front of you. How much you fold, how far you fold is up to you. If you're sitting in the chair, the movement might be the same. You could always fold starting at your neck and shoulders. Another option could be to step your feet out wider and fold. There's many options, and the goal is the same, to notice what sensations are showing up for you. So maybe for 5 counts or 5 breaths, you can notice in the fold what feelings are real and present for you. And remember, you're never stuck. You always have the option to change where you are or what you're doing. So maybe if you want, for 5. And possibly 4. Maybe 3 more. Maybe continuing for 2. And possibly 1 more if you want. And now another possible option for movement could be, if you would like to move around to a hands and knees foundation, you might move your hands a little farther away from your body and give yourself room to possibly circle your movements, or again, you could shift your middle body left to right. And then again, an invitation to notice how you feel. And from a chair, the movements are similar. Again, possibly circling or any shift could elicit sensation. So you're welcome to circle or shift or any other movement for possibly 5 counts. And with your hands, if you're on the palms of your hands, you're welcome to move up to your fists or to take a break and move back, sitting on your heels at any time. So possibly a 5 count here if you'd like. Maybe 2 more. And possibly 1 more here if you want. You're welcome to shake it out if you want. Or another option could be to circle your wrists. You might use your other hand to stretch your fingers in any direction that might feel interesting. You could also include your ankles, maybe mirroring joint movements. So maybe a 3 count to focus on some joint rotations in your ankles or wrists. So possibly here for 3 if you want. And maybe 2 more. And 1 if you want. So 1 more possible option for movement could be windshield wipe. The movement where you might decide how far you want to step your feet out, and then allow your knees to lower side to side. You're welcome to lean back on your hands or to lay down with your arms out at a T shape. From a seated foundation, you might guide one knee at a time in the direction of the floor. Or any movement is used as an opportunity to look for sensation, possibly somewhere in the legs or maybe your middle body as you might engage or release. So maybe a 5 count. And one other option, you might notice your feet, how they feel on the floor. They could be flat, or you could flex them, maybe lifting and spreading your toes. Anything to add a little energy and connect through your feet if you want. And they don't have to be lifted and spread. They can absolutely be grounded, pressed onto the floor. And so now maybe 5 counts to each side, if you want. Maybe continuing for 3 if you want. Maybe 2 more. And possibly 1 more if you want. And so if you want, you could, from here, take a number 4 stretch by crossing one ankle over the opposite knee. You're welcome to also have your legs on the floor while making the number 4 shape, kind of bending one leg in. From the chair, it looks like crossing your legs. And then to look for sensation, some options could be to guide your knee down in the direction of the floor, or to move your middle body closer and then farther away from your legs, seeing if sensation changes, sort of similar to what you might do on the floor by lifting the uncrossed leg toward you. So there's many options, many places you can take this stretch with the goal of looking for sensations somewhere in your body. What does it feel like to be here in this shape in your body? So you're welcome to be curious about that. And again, maybe for 5. And another option, you might notice if it feels different on your left side than it does on your right side. So possibly 5 counts. Maybe continuing for 3 more. And possibly 2. Maybe 1 more if you want. And as you feel ready, you're welcome to switch to the second side. Again, if you'd like, for 5. Now, if you want, for 3 more. And maybe 2 more. And possibly 1 more if you want. And the last 3 minutes of practice are always reserved for rest. So any last movements that you'd like to do, you could revisit windshield wiper or the number 4 stretch or any other side stretches, anything you want. And then at 41 after the hour, whatever your time zone, might be 4:41 or 3:41 for you. From 41 to 44, we'll rest, and then at 44 after the hour, we'll come back and close practice together. right, you're welcome to notice again what it feels like to arrive here in this moment, in your body. I thank you so much for your time, your trust, and this opportunity to practice together. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care.